On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Labor.
Productive work, especially physical work done for wages, the people who do manual or physical work in a country or company for wage. Verb, to work hard or to strive and make an effort to reach a goal.
Examples:
Seasonal labor, manual labor. In several countries, child labor is a serious social problem.
Naive.
Showing unaffected simplicity and lack of experience, wisdom, or judgment.
Examples:
Naive belief, naive mistake. The con artist's lies quickly took in the naive young man.
Intuition.
The ability to understand or know something without reasoning or evidence, a feeling that guides a person to do or believe something without fully understanding why.
Examples:
Creative intuition, intuition research. Some studies suggest that people's intuitions can be influenced by their experiences and biases.
Maze.
A complex network of winding passages or pathways designed as a puzzle or challenge for people to navigate through.
Examples:
Puzzle maze, labyrinth maze. We got lost in the maze of streets while exploring the city.
Bonus.
An extra amount of money that is added to payment as a present or reward for good work.
Examples:
Bonus appraisal, annual bonus. The committee abolished the controversial bonus system.
Incredibly.
In a way that is very difficult to believe, exceedingly, or extremely.
Examples:
Incredibly cheerful character. Get incredibly insecure. Several cities are experiencing incredibly high unemployment rates.
Simplistic.
Oversimplified or lacking in complexity or depth, characterized by an attempt to explain something complex or multifaceted with overly vague or simple terms.
Examples:
Simplistic approach, simplistic design. The politician's solution to the problem was too simplistic to solve the underlying issue.
Misery.
A state of ill-being due to affliction or misfortune.
Examples:
Live in misery. Untold misery. Our company suffered misery from incurring a heavy loss.
Frostbite.
A medical condition that occurs when the skin and underlying tissue freeze due to exposure to extremely cold temperatures, resulting in damage or loss of tissue and, in severe cases, amputation.
Examples:
Frostbite symptoms. Frostbite on the hand. The athlete had to quit the race due to severe frostbite on his feet.
Difficulty.
A condition or state that causes problems.
Examples:
The degree of difficulty. Difficulty in breathing. He has difficulty exercising because of a back injury sustained in an accident.
Circumstance:
The specific conditions or events that surround a particular situation or occurrence.
Examples:
Circumstance of birth. Circumstance of injury. She explained the circumstances surrounding the accident.
Recover:
To return to a former condition, health, mind, or strength.
Examples:
Recover a loss. Recover approval ratings. She is still recovering from a shot to her shoulder.
Peak:
The point to which something or someone is at its strongest, best, or most successful, the pointed top of a mountain.
Examples:
At peak hour. The peak current in the circuit. This measurement aims to reduce traffic at peak periods.
Motivate:
To make someone want to do something, especially something that requires tremendous work and effort.
Examples:
Motivate the students. All ability to motivate. The ability to motivate people is a priceless asset.
Preparation:
The activity of getting ready for something or making something ready.
Examples:
A preparation program. The preparation of meals. He helped me with the preparation of this book.
Merger:
The process of two or more companies joining together and becoming one entity, often to improve their competitive position or achieve synergies in operations or distribution.
Examples:
Merger talks. Financial merger. The merger between the two companies resulted in a stronger market position.
Acquisition:
The act of getting something, usually through purchase, negotiation, or effort.
Examples:
Merger and acquisition. Acquisition process. The company's latest acquisition of a rival firm has dramatically expanded its market share.
Graph:
A picture consisting of a line, lines, points, etc., that shows how two or more sets of certain quantities are related to each other.
Examples:
Graph theory. A graph sample. This bar graph shows sales over the past 5 years.
Cancel:
To decide that a previously scheduled activity will not take place.
Examples:
Cancel a class. Cancel a free subscription trial. When customers cancel their reservations, they lose the deposit they made.
Depressed:
Sad and without any hope.
Examples:
depressed feeling. The market is depressed. After his mother died, he got depressed.
Experiment:
the scientific test conducted to observe what happens and gain new knowledge.
Examples:
experiment design. Series of experiments. His experiments showed highly positive results.
Disassemble:
to take apart, dismantle, or separate a device, machine, or other objects into its parts or components.
Examples:
disassemble a machine. Disassemble furniture. The mechanic had to disassemble the engine to locate and fix the problem.
Participate:
to take part in something.
Examples:
participate fully in conversation. Participate in the program. The majority of students actively participated in the college's intramural sports program.
Inspire:
to make somebody feel with the desire, confidence, or enthusiasm, especially to do something creative.
Examples:
inspire a feeling of curiosity. Inspire him to write a novel. The unique style of this martial arts inspired many action film producers.
Pun:
a humorous play on words or use of words that sound similar but have different meanings, often for a comedic effect, a form of wordplay.
Examples:
witty pun. Silly pun. The comedian's pun had the audience laughing out loud.
Roll:
to move in a particular direction by turning over and over or from side to side.
Examples:
roll a ball. Roll down his cheeks. He was exhausted and rolled into bed as soon as he got home.
Essence:
the basic or most important part or quality of something that makes it what it is.
Examples:
vanilla essence. Universal essence. University teaches the art of understanding the essence of the matter.
Futile:
incapable of producing any useful result, pointless.
Examples:
futile talk. Make a futile protest. It was futile to try and fix the broken vase, as it was too badly damaged.
Progression:
the act or process of changing to the next stage or phase or moving forward.
Examples:
progression of civilization. Progression of disease. The company has made great strides in its progression towards sustainability.
Torture:
the act of causing intense pain or suffering to someone to punish them, extract information from them, or for some other reason.
Examples:
a torture chamber. An instrument of torture. The use of torture is strictly prohibited under international law.
Endless.
Having no end or conclusion, infinitely very large in size or amount.
Examples:
Endless possibilities. Endless hours. He looked out the window at the endless stream of people.
Destroy.
To ruin or damage severely or completely, to eradicate or eliminate completely.
Examples:
Destroy the ecosystem. Destroyed evidence. The building was destroyed in the fire and had to be rebuilt.
Bionic.
Relating to or using technology or devices that enhance or replace biological functions, typically in a way that mimics or improves upon the original.
Examples:
Bionic exoskeleton. Bionic technology. The soldier was fitted with a bionic arm after losing him in combat.
Cancer.
Abnormal growth of cells that can invade and destroy surrounding tissues and organs. A disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells.
Examples:
Cancer diagnosis. Cancer research. Breast cancer is the most common type of cancer in women.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Predict.
To state beforehand that something will happen in the future, mainly based on knowledge or experience.
Examples:
Predict the future. Predict when she will arrive. It's notoriously challenging to predict birth rates.
Magnitude.
The extent, level, importance, or amount of something.
Examples:
A star of the first magnitude. The magnitude of the disaster. The magnitude of the earthquake was measured at 7.8 on the Richter scale.
Importance.
The quality of being important and worthy of note.
Examples:
A man of importance. High importance. I stopped by the branch though I have no business of importance.
Extent.
The point or degree or area to which something extends.
Examples:
Certain extent. The extent of the damage. I was amazed at the extent of her generosity.
Speculate.
To form a theory or conjecture or guess about a subject without solid evidence.
Examples:
Speculate about the reason. Speculate on the outcome. He speculated that this investment would lead to success.
Internal.
Of or relating to the inside of something.
Examples:
Internal organs. The internal economy. The Prime Minister cancelled visits to other countries to resolve internal disputes.
Correlation.
A statistical relationship between two variables in which one variable is affected by the other. A reciprocal relation between two or more facts, numbers, etc.
Examples:
Ecological correlation. Correlation coefficient. There is a strong correlation between education level and income.
Relation.
The way two persons or groups of people feel and act toward one another.
Examples:
Relation between cause and effect. Relation of inclusion. The industrial relations laws were passed with little to no alteration.
Manipulate.
To influence or control something or someone to your advantage, often in an unfair or dishonest way.
Examples:
Manipulate figures. Vulnerable to manipulate. Please tell me how to manipulate this computer.
Crush.
To press it firmly, usually with your hands or a tool, so that it becomes flat or smaller.
Examples:
Crush coffee beans. Crush a revolt. The car was completely crushed in the accident.
Eliminate.
To remove or get rid of someone or something.
Examples:
Eliminate contestants. Eliminate sexual barriers. We can eliminate this possibility from those consumptions.
Software.
A set of computer programs and associated documentation and data for doing particular computational jobs.
Examples:
Software architect. Copyrighted software. The company specializes in both hardware and software.
Innovate.
To introduce new methods, ideas, or products.
Examples:
Innovate a new method. Innovate the quality of his life. Companies developing self-driving cars consistently innovate the emerging technologies.
Engineer.
A person whose job is designing, building, or maintaining something such as machines, structures, or software.
Examples:
A civil engineer. Engineer shortage. The engineer will repair my telephone tomorrow morning.
Kosher.
Conforming to Jewish dietary laws, conforming to proper or ethical standards, legitimate, lawful, or acceptable.
Examples:
Kosher supermarket. Kosher deli. The synagogue offers a list of certified kosher products that members can refer to when grocery shopping.
Expense.
The money, time, or effort incurred or required for something.
Examples.
Enormous expenses. Expense account. For this project to be successful, we must control expenses strictly.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples.
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Aspect.
One part or feature of a situation, problem, subject, etc.
Examples.
Non-technical aspects of the job. Aspects of social, political, and economic life. His professional experience includes all aspects of media production.
Generation.
All the people born and living at about the same time, regarded collectively, the production of heat or electricity.
Examples.
Generation gap. The generation of electricity. The younger generation has different values and beliefs than the older one.
Prototype.
A first or preliminary example of something such as a device or vehicle from which other forms are developed.
Examples.
Complete a prototype product. Early prototype. The flying car is presently in the prototype stage.
Motivation.
The reason or enthusiasm for acting or behaving in a particular way.
Examples.
Understand his motivation. Motivation for a change. A significant amount of motivation is required to be a teacher.
Unimportant.
Not important.
Examples.
Unimportant information. Unimportant event. He regretted having undertaken the unimportant job without thinking about the consequences.
Slightly.
In a small degree or extent, a little.
Examples.
Increase slightly. Slightly alkaline soils. He moved his body slightly to the left.
Random.
Made, done, or happening without method, conscious decision, or any regular pattern.
Examples.
A random choice. Bombs fell at random. To find drunk drivers, police conduct random tests.
Identical.
Being the exact same one.
Examples.
Pair of identical twins. An identical equation. Infant formulas are nutritionally almost identical to a mother's breast milk.
Scan.
To examine something hastily, with the eyes or with a machine, to get information.
Examples:
Scan the face of a man. Scan a document into PDF. She stood on the podium and scanned an audience.
Pile.
A collection of objects positioned one on top of another, a large sum of something, such as money.
Examples:
A sand pile. The height of a pile. After the party, they had to clean up piles of dirty dishes.
Shred.
To tear or cut something into a small pieces. Noun, a tiny or scarcely detectable amount.
Examples:
Shred paper into little pieces. Shred lettuce for a salad. There is not a shred of evidence that he is guilty.
Plot.
A secret plan or scheme to achieve a specific goal. The plan or main story of a literary work. Verb, to plan secretly, usually something illegal.
Examples:
Plot line. Plot a surprise attack. The plot of the novel centers around a group of friends who uncover a conspiracy to control the world's water supply.
Acknowledged.
Recognized or admitted as being true or valid.
Examples:
Acknowledged beauty. Publicly acknowledged truth. His acknowledged expertise in the field earned him the respect of his peers.
Cheat.
To act dishonestly or unfairly to gain an advantage or to deceive someone, to break the rules or laws.
Examples:
Cheat on my taxes. Cheat in a game. Even though he knew it was wrong, he cheated on the exam.
Submit.
To give or offer a document, proposal, etc. to a decision maker for examination or consideration.
Examples:
Agree to submit the bill. Submit an application. Please submit the assignment to me.
Ignore.
To intentionally not listen or pay attention to.
Examples:
Ignore her advice. Ignore a ban. Since independence, the area has been completely ignored.
Sufficient.
Adequate, enough for a particular purpose or requirement.
Examples:
Sufficient time. Self-sufficient economy. That candidate does not have sufficient means to win an election with certainty.
Dramatically.
In a very impressive manner.
Examples:
He confessed dramatically. The cabin pressure fell dramatically. Life expectancy has grown dramatically this century.
Improve.
To make or become better.
Examples:
Improve a process. Improve the test score. We want to improve ties between our two countries.
Overdo.
To exaggerate or exceed limits of something. To do or use something to such an excessive or exaggerated extent that it causes harm or becomes unpleasant. To overexert.
Examples:
Overdo exercise. Overdo caffeine. If you overdo the laundry detergent, it can damage your clothes.
Negative.
Having the quality of something bad or harmful, expressing refusal.
Examples:
Have a negative effect. A negative number. The movie has received almost universally negative criticism.
Assemble.
To collect in one place as a single group.
Examples:
Assemble your colleagues. Assemble a jigsaw puzzle. The president began to assemble an army.
Confuse.
To mistake one thing for another, to make somebody hard to understand.
Examples:
Confuse the listener. Confuse fantasy with reality. Her remarks confused the debate.
Process.
A series of actions or operations performed to achieve a particular outcome or goal. A systematic procedure or approach used to accomplish a specific task or objective. A method of treating milk to make it suitable for consumption or use in other dairy products.
Examples:
Process improvement. Decision-making process. The process for applying for a visa can be lengthy and complicated.
Powder.
A dry and fine substance that consists of very small, loose particles.
Examples:
Powder additive. Curry powder. She used a powder brush to apply her foundation evenly.
Housewife.
A woman who manages a household, particularly one who stays at home to take care of children and domestic duties.
Examples:
Housewife duties. Prudent housewife. She is a full-time housewife who cares for her children and runs the household.
Stir.
To mix a liquid or substance by using a spoon or something similar. To cause to be agitated, excited, or roused.
Examples:
Stir a sauce. Stir up controversy. Topics related to that war may stir up a political hornet's nest.
Unpopular.
Not liked, supported, or approved by many people, having an unfavorable reputation.
Examples:
Unpopular decision. An unpopular opinion. The politician's stance on controversial issues made him an unpopular candidate for many voters.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
Involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Degree.
A unit of measurement for angles, temperature, or level of proficiency or achievement, a rank or level of academic or professional attainment.
Examples:
Bachelor's degree. Degree centigrade. She received her degree in psychology from the university.
Experimental.
Relating to or based on new ideas, forms, methods, etc. that have not been tried before, usually to find out what effect they have.
Examples:
Experimental data. Experimental design. The product is still in the experimental stage.
Origami.
The Japanese art or practice of folding paper into decorative shapes and figures.
Examples:
Origami paper. Origami art. I love making origami cranes during my free time.
Instruction.
Detailed direction, order, etc. on how to do or use something.
Examples:
Individual instruction. Follow his instructions. They needed further instruction to perform their duties efficiently.
Novice.
A person who is new to a particular activity or experience, a beginner or learner.
Examples:
Chess novice. Novice lawyer. The novice coder had a difficult time debugging their program.
Ugly.
Unattractive in appearance, unpleasant to look at.
Examples:
An ugly sound. Ugly building. The ugly truth was that he had been lying to her for months.
Belong.
To be the property of someone or something, to be a member or part of a group, to be in the proper or appropriate place.
Examples:
Belong to different species. Belong to a group. All the books in this section belong to the library's rare collection and must be handled carefully.
External.
Belonging to or situated outside of someone or something.
Examples:
External factors. External commerce. When a company discloses information to the market, an external auditor verifies them.
Observer.
A person who watches or notices someone or something, but has no active part in it.
Examples:
A shrewd observer. An observer in the region. According to the theory of relativity, time is different for each observer.
Evaluate.
To assess or estimate the quality, significance, quantity, or value of something.
Examples:
Evaluate the grant proposal. Evaluate a situation. The meeting aims to evaluate possible choices.
Diagram.
A simplified illustration of the appearance, structure, or workings of something.
Examples:
3D diagram. In a diagram. He is drawing a diagram illustrating how the equipment operates.
Association.
A people or groups of people who have joined in a single organization together for a particular purpose, a social or business connection or relationship.
Examples:
Word associations. A scholarship association. His membership in the association provided him with numerous benefits.
Creature.
A living being, especially an animal.
Examples:
Creature of habit. Artificial creature. The deep-sea creature was unlike anything the scientists had ever seen before.
Blacksmith.
A smith who forges and shapes iron with a hammer and anvil.
Examples:
Blacksmith welding. Blacksmith shop. The blacksmith shaped a horseshoe on his anvil.
Efficiency.
The state or quality of doing something well with no waste of input such as time or money.
Examples:
Better fuel efficiency. An energy efficiency. Our company must continue to strive for greater efficiency.
Tremendous.
Very great in degree or extent or amount or impact, extremely good.
Examples:
Tremendous amount. Tremendous popularity. We had a tremendous time yesterday.
Industrial.
Of or relating to or resulting from industry.
Examples:
Beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Industrial alcohol. Industrial design has become more focused on human nature aspect than ever before.
Revolution.
A large-scale attempt to overthrow the government of a country, often using violence or war.
Examples:
Beginning of the Industrial Revolution. A political revolution. The revolution by the citizen resulted in a redistribution of wealth.
Alienation.
The state of being isolated or detached from one's social, emotional, or political environment.
Examples:
Human alienation. International alienation. His feelings of alienation from society led to depression.
Economy.
The system by which a country or region produces, manages, and distributes goods and services, including the money and finances involved in these activities, of an airline, the lowest priced, most basic option for seating in commercial travel.
Examples:
Economy of scale. Economy class. The economy of the country is struggling due to the recent political instability.
Identity.
The fact of being who or what somebody or something is, the features, emotions, or ideas that distinguish persons from one another.
Examples:
mistaken identity, identity as an individual. The terrorist's identity remains unknown.
Pride.
A feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's achievements.
Examples:
pride of a company, hide his pride. She took great pride in her work, always striving for perfection.
Component.
One of several parts that combines with others to form something bigger.
Examples:
key component, spare components for cars. The researchers try to discover a common component in all types of successful organizations.
Employee.
A person who is hired to work for a business or organization in exchange for wages or salary, a worker.
Examples:
employee benefits, employee evaluation. The employee handbook outlines the rules and regulations that all employees must follow.